Alright guys, welcome back to Death from Above 40k. It's battle report time and it's exciting time. We've got Ben here. Say g'day, Ben.
G'day.
He's brought along his new Dark Angels list to take on my Death Guard. So I'm running the exact same Death Guard list I ran against the Necrons the other week. Was it the Necrons? Who did I beat with the... Oh, bloody lost. Anyway, the last battle that they were on. We'll go through the Death Guard first, and then Ben's just looking up all his rules on his little battle scribe, was it?
Battle scribe.
Battle scribe. Always. Alright, so in Death Guard we've got a battalion. So 2 HQs for the battalion. We've got Lord Virulence. He's got a deadly pathogen that is Vicious Death. So he re-rolls his spitter amount of shots. Then over here we've got a Malignant Plague Caster. He's going to have Putrescent Vitality and Gift of Plagues as his 2 plague powers. For troops, we've got 1, 2, 3 5-man Plague Marine units, Plasma Gun on the champion, and a Blight Launcher in each. All 3 are the same. Then if we go to elites, we've got 3 Death Shroud Terminators with their little spitter gauntlets and big scythes. Then we've got 2 Foul Blight Spawns. Haha, I remembered the name this week. They're just going to be getting around. Then we've got the Tally Man. He's going to be taking the relic, the Toll Keeper. So that means that he's trying to give back command points. He can, but he what's this? 6. When you fire a gun, if you roll a 6, you get an additional hit. That's his little thing, and he can also buff a unit to hit with +1. That's the elites. Fast attack. 1, 2 Fetid Bloat Drones with spitters. Heavy sport. We've got the Plague Burst Crawler, Entropy Cannons, and Big Cannon on the back. Then we got the Rhino Transport with Combi Bolter and Combi Flamer. And then none other but the big dog himself, Mortarion. He'll be running the Psychic Powers Miasma of Pestilence, Gift of Contagion, and Gift of Plagues. And then he'll have all his other bells and whistles and jizzles and jazzles. The army will be running again as the Inexorable, so anyone in contagion range will be -1 AP on my weapons. So you know your bolt guns go to AP1 and etc, so on and so forth. So that's the army. I'll be coming in at 9 command points because I've spent 3 on a Lord of War. And we'll check out Ben's Dark Angels. So what's the tournament you're going to, Ben?
Bladestorm, Melbourne.
So he's off to Melbourne now that our restrictions have been listed to go to Bladestorm, and this is his list. So anyone that's watching this, now you know what Ben's running. So if you run into him, kick the shit out of him. Nah, just joking. That's half the reason we've also put this army, because Ben was saying at Bladestorm there's already 3 lists, was it, that are running Mortarion?
That's correct.
Yeah, so Ben asked if he could come challenge this army to give him a test run before he heads off to face Mortarion without ever facing him previously. So what do we got on the list, mate? What are your 2 HQs at the front here?
Prominent Chaplain on bike, upgraded obviously to the Master of Sanctity.
Yep.
Just got Canicle of Hate and Catechism of Fire.
Catechism of Fire.
That's it. And I've given him the Relic Armor and Dominus, so it gives him an extra wound, 3 up save, and
yep.
3
is it
plus invul.
Oh.
1 time he can use it.
Beautiful. So a bit of protection for the old fella.
Yeah.
And who's this guy next to him? I think I hear about this guy on the internet a lot.
Painted Red Wing Apothecary.
The Apothecary on the bike.
Yeah, he's being upgraded, obviously.
Chief Apothecary.
And he is actually the Warlord, and I've given him Selfless Healer.
Of course you have. Cheese. Alright, so they're the 2 HQ. I can't say cheese, I'm running Mortarion. I apologise, internet people. Anyway, moving on. Troops.
So I've got 2 squads of Intercessors, one with Autobolt Rifles and one with Stalker.
And they've both got chainswords on the Sergeant.
Yep.
And then
I've got some Incursors.
Are they the ones that drop the bomb on things? Like
yeah.
And they got
couldn't afford it, but they can do it.
Okay. He's running them with the gimmick, not the gimmick in the unit though. Alright. Okay, so for elites we've got these big fellas.
Deathwing Knights.
Deathwing Knights with their big maces, and this guy's who's going to win the game, people.
He'll stop the smite.
He'll stop the smite. I don't know what he does, but apparently these guys are badass now because they've pretty much always got transhuman on, so that's lovely. And then we got another unit of Deathwing Terminators.
Yep.
So we've got a mixture in here. What have we got? Some
Yeah, so
plasma cannons, storm bolters, chain fists, bloody lightning claws, you name it, it's in the unit.
that's it.
Is that all your elites?
And the Black Knights,
Black Knights,
Yep.
plasma talons, and
Corvus Hammers.
Corvus hammers. Alright. Then, what do you got for... Oh, they're heavy spawn, aren't they?
They're heavy,
Yeah,
yeah.
them bloody bastards.
Fast attack is just the Outriders.
Got an outrider unit.
Yep.
And what do we got over here? Are they two separate units?
That's just one unit.
So one unit of land speeders with Typhoon and heavy bolters.
Yep.
What's this giant thing?
So it's the Land Speed of Vengeance.
Oof. Plasma.
Plasma and Heavy Bolter. That's it.
So this down the back here is a third HQ, is it?
It's actually the second HQ. The Apothecary is an elite as well.
Oh, the Apothecary is an elite, so this is actually your second HQ.
Yeah.
This is the Talon Master, isn't it?
Master, yep.
Alright, and then you've only got the one heavy support,
Just the one heavy spot, just the 3 Eradicators.
3 Eradicators, there you go. So you'll be coming in with your full 12 command points.
Yes.
Alright, so that's 2,000 points of Death Guard, 2,000 points of Dark Angels, Deathwing, Ravenwing, all the goodness. He's got a bit of everything. You got some Green Wing, Ravenwing, Deathwing. That was a mouthful. So I'm pretty bloody excited about this. So we'll get all over this like a fat kid on a cupcake, and we'll get a mission rolled for you, and we'll be back in a minute. Alright, guys. Alright, guys, we have rolled up a mission, and the mission is No Man's Land. So, it's pretty straightforward. Over to the right, objective, center objective, off to the left an objective, and then one in each deployment zone. I swear to God, this is the most common mission that we roll up, but hey, we're going with it. So, secondaries for both of us. So we'll go through mine first. I've chosen all from the mission book, so I've chosen Attrition, Engage on All Fronts, and No Man's Land, which is the one where if you hold the center, you get more points based on the turnaround that it is. And for Ben's Dark Angels, he's gone with Assassinate, because I've got like 6 characters. He's gone with Engage on All Fronts, which makes sense because he's super fast. And he's gone with Attrition as well. So we're both aiming to kill more than each other for this turn. Fallen over. Right, so deployment. Starting from the right, I've got Fetid Bloat Drone. Then I've got a Rhino that's got the Plague Caster in it. 2 Foul Blight Spawns. Coming across here, we've got a big blob. So, we got the 3 Plague Marine units. Then we got the Lord of Virulence in there. And we got the Tallyman. Just behind him is the Plague Burst Crawler. And then we've got Mortarion next to him, just getting a bit of cover behind here in case we don't get first turn. Then over here we've got another Fetid Bloat Drone. We've got the 3 Death Shrouds coming in from Deep Strike Reserve. If we go over to Ben's, what do we got here? So, on the very right hand side, we've got the Knights. Behind them, the Apothecary. Then we got 3 Land Speeders, one being the Talon Master. Then over here we got 1, 2 Intercessor squads holding this. He's put the Eradicators up here. He said his line of thinking was because they've got a big... They can pretty much shoot at all the objectives across the centre here. So they're just going to sit up there in cover and blow the shit out of stuff. Then we've got old mate back here. Chaplain on a bike. And then what was this big plasma thing called again? I'm going to mess... Vengeance. I like it. Vengeance. Then next to him we've got the Outriders. Then he's infiltrated these guys into the centre here so that they can take over some objectives wherever they please. So that's the setup. It's a lot of units on Ben's house, so I'm going to have to pick target priority like a madman. Alright, we'll roll to see who gets first turn. Whoa, that's Death Guard first turn, and I'm bloody taking it. I'm not going to sit on the other end of this kind of firepower, boys. Alright, we'll get back to you in a minute as this plague rolls forward. Alright guys, end of Death Guard turn 1, and there's some shenanigans have happened and some things and stuff and bits and bobs. So let's go over it. Movement wise, we'll start from this side. This ran all the way over here, shot into these guys, done nothing. Mortarion moved to the centre of the field. He got his 2 psychic powers off, which was the miasma, so -1 to hit, and he also extended his Plague Wind. So all these guys here were +1 AP and also -1 toughness due to that. This blob all just moved forward. They shot most of their weapons across over into here, and they eliminated 1 Intercessor squad, and then managed to kill one of these guys up here. This also fired at the Eradicators and did nothing because he used transhuman physiology. Across here, Plague Burst Crawler, Fetid Bloat Drone came over here, and then this Rhino drove up on him. So between this guy and this guy, we removed 2 of these and wounded one in curses that were in there. So put the pressure on them, drove the Rhino right up to him to give the plague contagion thing. So at the end of Death Guard turn 1, we've got engage on all fronts for being across the board, and we've wiped out a unit. So if Ben can't wipe out a unit in his turn 1, we'll score some more points for that. And that's it for that turn. All right, we'll get back to yours at the end of Death Guard turn 1. I'll just be honourable mention here. Blight Bombardment. So I've put it here. So it's within 6 of all these little units here. Forgot to say it. That's why the Lord of Virulence is on the battlefield. So Ben's got a choice. He can hold this objective or stay in this building or do what he wants. But at the start of the next command phase, that thing's going bang. Alright. Dark Angels turn 1 coming up. Alright guys, end of Dark Angels turn 1, and Ben has pushed back and done some pretty good damage, killed some things. So let's go over what he's done. So we'll start here because this went horribly wrong. He moved forward and he overcharged to shoot into the Fetid Bloat Drone, and in doing so he lost 3 of his 5 bikes to overcharging, so that was no good. But he does have a little dude there to bring him back, so I'm sure he'll do that. But then was it these guys that finished him off? Because he split fired. I think it was the heavy bolters from these finished off the Fetid Bloat Drone.
Yep.
And then the missiles fired across into the Rhino that was in here and started, I think they did 3 or 4 wounds.
Yep.
Then these Eradicators up here finished off the Rhino. The 3 guys inside got out. I did roll 1 for one of them, but I re-rolled it. So all 3 characters are out. The Talon Master, what did he shoot at? I think he shot at the Fetid Bloat Drone as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was a lot of firepower to get rid of the Fetid Bloat Drone. Funnily enough, the only thing that shot at Mortarion was this Chaplain, because it was the only thing he could see, and he wounded him. See, Mortarion can be wounded. Then over here, there's a combination of this Plasma Battery, and these guys here shot into here and took 5 wounds off this Fetid Bloat Drone. So at the end of the round, Ben actually killed more than I killed, so he got 4 points for attrition and 2 points for engage on all fronts, because he's also in... Well, he's in every quarter actually. So that's the Dark Angels turn 1. They're in a pretty good position. We'll see how it goes. We'll get back to you with Death Guard turn 2 and see if we can't turn this up a notch. Alright guys. Alright guys, end of Death Guard turn 2, and we've turned it up and we've put the pressure back on the fellas, on the Dark Angels. So what's happened? So this thing over here stayed put here to hold the objective, and it managed to kill one of the bikes with its spitters. These 2 foul blight spawns over here shot into the big, what was it called again? Vengeance. And spooged it. They were just like, oh, you vengeance me spooge, mate. Yeah, and that's how that went down. So it's gone. This guy didn't get to do anything. He did some mortal wounds on the Primaris that were here. So this blob of guys here wiped out the Incurses that were here and the rest of the unit that was here, because they're in Mortarion's bubble of -1 toughness and also -1 AP. So they just got brutally mutilated. I just realised I didn't even shoot my Plague Burst Crawler, but that's on me, so I'm just going to not worry about that for now. Over here, these guys come down, and with their spitters, they took 5 wounds off one of the land speeds, leaving on 1. And then Morty ran in here. He killed the Talon Master, and he didn't do anything to the bike because he activated his Invon save up to 3, and he hit back and done nothing. Oh, the other thing I'll say too is, sorry, it wasn't just all these guns here. 2 of the units fired up here and killed the Eradicators as well. So how many units was that for the Death Guard? 5 units gone, according to... so they got attrition, 2 points for engage on all fronts, 5 being on here. So we're not massively ahead in points. And Ben's got 2 units of Terminators coming in. Yep. So he's still got things on the board. He's still got bikes. Bikes over here with the Apothecary. He's still got his land speeders and his chaplain and all that sort of stuff. And he's got Terminators coming in. So don't can him out yet. And we'll get back to yours on Dark Angels turn 2. Alright. Alright guys. End of Dark Angels turn 2. Ben's done some shenanigans here. He's tried to put the pressure on me. I don't know how well it's worked out, but he's feeling good. So we'll start with his movement. Unsurprisingly, everything got away from Mortarion and was like, no, we're not dealing with that today. His chaplain moved all the way over here. His knights came down here and they managed to get the charge off on these guys. They killed one and took 2 wounds off one. Then I interrupted and wiped out all his bikes that were also in the combat. These shot over at the Plague Burst Crawler. Well, everything shot at the Plague Burst Crawler that was here, like his talons, his missiles, his heavy bolters, and he took 6 wounds off. He charged in here. He killed a Plague Marine and a half, and then lost a wound in return. If we come around here, these Terminators dropped down here. They shot into here, didn't do anything, and they failed their charge. But at the start of Ben's turn, were you on any objectives? I don't think you were.
No, I wasn't. I
So-
got them all off.
And you didn't kill enough units, so you didn't get attrition. You got engaged on all fronts though, so you've only earned 2 points for this round. Alright, so that's not looking so good. But the Terminators are here. He's got the full unit on them, so let's see if they can romp around the battlefield. And as I said, he's got another unit here. We'll see if he can come in the centre here and take out this big blob and dominate the battlefield. Alright, we'll get back to yours at the end of Death Guard turn 3. Alright guys. Alright guys, end of Death Guard turn 3, and we've turned things up quite significantly. So, at the start of the turn I had 1, 2, 3 objectives, netting me 15, plus it was turn 3, so 3 for that, so 18 points for that. So, big jump forward there. Shooting wise, I moved a unit out of combat with the guys here, and then we shot them off the table. We also used some of the guys in here to shoot over here and kill a land speeder. The Plague Burst Crawler turned around and nuked 2 Terminators. That was pretty much it over here. And then Morty, we did some more wounds on this guy as well. Morty shot his lantern into the Apothecary and blew it away. And then charged in here to support these guys. We only killed one of these knights, and then the knight with Morty, and then the knights turned around and killed my little dudes. The Death Shroud Terminators got pretty hammered by them, because these guys are pretty good. They're like the good guy equivalent of Death Shrouds. So at the end of that round, Death Guard are on 30 points and going through with a pretty dominant hit here. So we're going to give Ben his turn 3 and see what he can do in retaliation to all this plaguey, spoogy goodness. Alright guys, we'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, end of Dark Angels turn 3. Ben's put in a valiant effort here, but unfortunately after a hard slogged battle, what are you doing, Ben?
I'm calling it quits, mate.
He's calling it quits, mate. He's decided, so he didn't score any points for objectives at the start of this turn because I was on every objective and contesting this one with Mortarion. He had a pretty good run over here where he managed to kill the Plague Burst Crawler, but he's still not going to score points because these are all troops in here. So he's looking at it, he's like, he might get in here and fight, but those Terminators with all this stuff here, we don't know if they're going to be able to fight their way through it. We know they're not going to be able to fight their way through it. It's just not going to happen. There's too many spooge cannons. There's a lot of virulence in there, all that sort of stuff. Then over here, Mortarion managed to slap down some more knights. They did do some damage back on him. I think they did a total of 4 wounds with all this stuff. Ben just charged with everything, try and do maximum damage. But didn't do much. Yeah. So I'm going to go after this hard-fought Death Guard victory. Man of the match I'm going to give to, where he's in here, the Tally Man. The reason I'm giving it to the Tally Man is me and Ben were talking about it before. It's not a bad idea having the Lord of Virulence on the battlefield because he was given +1 to hit for all these guns. The Tally Man on rolls of 6 gives them extra hits. And we both agreed that this blob of troops in the centre with these two spooge guns probably did the most damage throughout the battle, and that was buffed by the tally man. He also gave me some points back and whatnot. As always, Lord of Virulence, best HQ you can get. What did you say for your man of the match, Ben?
I had a tie between the Deathwing Knights and the Land Speeders, I reckon.
Yeah, the Land Speeders put out really good long range support, and your Deathwing Knights, they smashed through my Death Shroud Terminators and done some just anything they fought this game. They didn't get a lot of rounds in, but they did good. Yeah. How many points is your big Plasma Talon?
The Vengeance?
Yeah.
120.
120. I don't know. I feel like these do better. More of these little land speeders, but that's just my opinion. So Ben's off to, what was the tournament again, Ben?
Bladestorm.
Bladestorm in Melbourne. He's literally leaving my house now to go to Bladestorm. He's got his practice match in against the new Death Guard because apparently there's a heap of Death Guard lists down there. So wish him luck, and we'll get back to you with another one real soon. Hopefully Ben comes back and he's won the whole tournament. Alright guys, stay safe out there and we'll see you soon.